Hello. Welcome to Mishmash Soup. This is Melissa. Once again, we've got a whole gaggle of friends in studio. We've got Francolino.
The classic queer. Hey, guys.
And then we have Mr. T as well.
Hey there, everybody.
I think he's... And then we have a heckler amongst us as well. Mr. R. So let's all get into that mishmash soup. So we have...
It's been a while since I've been on, well, I missed one show.
Well, you didn't really miss a show because what happened was we record ahead of time. So we've just all been on... You were on a vacation.
Yeah.
Did you go to Bell's Canyon?
Oh, God, no. I wish. I did go to... Manny and I went to Choke Canyon.
Oh, that doesn't sound too promising. Choke Canyon.
Apropos for our lifestyle.
Oh my
But
God.
we went to Choke Canyon. It's a state park, and it was for my birthday because July 8th. My birthday.
Yes, it was his birthday on the 8th. He is 29.
No, I'm 22.
What?
I'm 22.
Franklin, I have the cesarean section scar. I know how old you are.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm 22.
Oh, to be 22 again.
Yes.
Exactly.
But yeah, so we went to Choke Canyon for a birthday week and just a little getaway, and we went to, we saw some wildlife, some deer, some wild pigs, some
Javelina?
alligators. We saw some.
What?
We saw a barn owl.
A lechuza.
And we literally saw a barn owl kill a duck.
What?
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
What? What is this? Wild America? Where's Marlon Perkins?
Yeah, so we were literally just like basking in the sunlight as sundown was happening, and I noticed this big old bird flying in the background. I was like, what the hell is that? At first I was like, is that a bat? And then I saw that it went to this duck, and this duck was like eating a fish, and the barn owl and the duck fought over the fish. And I guess the barn owl was like, well, fuck it, I'm taking the duck. He just flew off with the duck. I was like, damn it.
What?
I wish I would have recorded
It
it.
picked up the duck?
Yes, it was like, well, fuck it, if I can't have the fish, I'm going to have you.
Duck à l'orange.
It was wild. It was nature gone wild.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's like, how they used to have those, the Girls Gone Wild series. It's like,
Tori, have you seen that series?
No. No. So you were the Jacques Cousteau.
I was.
That's awesome.
ho, ho, ho.
So that was one of the crazier things that we saw. But it was a nice stay. We had a cabin, and the cabin was there was an AC in there, so it's not like we were just like roughing it.
Oh, come on.
We did glamp a little. Right? You'd think I could take a little rough housing, but no. We stayed in an air-conditioned cabin. Some other people were staying in air-conditioned cabins next to us too, but it was nice to just get away and not worry about the society, essentially.
Not to worry
Well,
about
let me tell you,
people.
something happened.
Yeah.
Well, oh God, we have a fucking rat again in our midst. Jesus Christ, man. You would think that this rat...
Ooh.
That didn't sound nice. Okay, but anyway, something happened to me.
What happened?
I did not know how to take this. I did not know how to take this. First time that's ever... So, yesterday I was like, oh, I guess I'm going to go ahead and go to Taco Bell. Might as well get something. Because I was like, I didn't want to have my little cup of soup at work. So I went to Taco Bell. And it was, of course, it was raining like, cats and dogs. So I'm in the drive-thru. And so I order my grande meal for $5.
Yeah.
And I pull up and the girl goes, hi, it's going to be $5.41. I go, oh, hi. And I go, oops, sorry, it's raining, because it was coming down like
You were
buckets.
sorry for the rain? You have to apologize for that.
Well,
That's our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ who needs to be apologizing for that.
Aren't you an atheist?
So continue on.
So I go, oh, sorry, it's raining and I'm trying to, because she was like reaching for my card and I was trying to grab it out. And then she goes, oh, you know what? I'm going to give you a discount. And I go, oh, okay. I'm like, oh, did I win a prize or something? And she goes, no, I'm going to give you the senior citizen discount. I go, what?
Oh my gosh.
God.
I said, I just
You said
looked
thank
at her. I looked at her and I said, she goes, I guess she kind of picked up on my shocked look. Oh, I'm pretty sure you're not 55, but I'll give it to you anyway. I go, no, I'm not. I'm not 55. I go, okay. So she said, so it's going to be $487. I go,
That's where you need to have pulled out your inner Yolanda and be like, I need to speak to your man.
Oh my gosh.
I would have said yes and thank you.
Yeah, I would have just kept it moving too, realistically.
yeah, but I was insulted and only to save, 65 cents?
Hey,
I was like, I did not know.
That coin is coin, honey.
65 cents, that's
Save it
a
where
lot
you
of
can.
money.
Yes. That's that burger money.
That's right.
So yeah, that's what happened to me. I was like, I went back. I didn't even want to eat my fucking taco grande. I was like, oh, God. I looked at it. I'm like,
What about you, Tori or Red? Did y'all ever have any really strange customer service experience recently or
in the past.
just,
Oh
anything
gosh.
that has stuck with y'all?
Mine would be when we went to Germany and we were in Berlin and we were catching a flight and I wasn't at a very good health point at that time, so I had some neurological issues and which caused me to forget things and it could be instantaneously. So we ordered some food and I forgot my Coke on the stand. And the lady behind in German, well, she's German, obviously, and she's like, stupid Americans. And I was like, I just turned around, and that medicine also made me really angry all the time, so
Yes, it did.
just completely went off on her in German, and she was just completely shocked that I responded in German.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's the best kind of comeback too, when you in a different country and you can pick up that someone's insulting you and you just come right back at them in their own language and they're like, what? Big snatched of the century.
Oh, I know. It's just crazy. But that's Berlin for you. Don't go to Berlin.
You're like, did you tell her, excuse me, I am from here?
Yes, pretty much. Maybe a couple interesting extra words.
Oh my
But yeah,
gosh! Yes,
her
that's
jaw just dropped and was like, "Oh, you speak German."
and she didn't apologize, huh?
Oh no, but that's typical of North Germany, so not confused about them.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
How about you, Rhett?
Oh, nothing. Nothing.
Rhett's like,
He's the kind that's like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep it moving. Which
Pretty
is good.
much,
Which
yes.
Which is what you should be doing most times. It's really, it's all about how you cope with certain stressful situations or things like that. And I'm the kind of person that would just keep it moving.
No,
I may throw an odd look to them, what? And keep it moving.
no, I think I'm more like Melissa. We're firecrackers.
You're definitely a
I
firecracker.
did. She looked at me. She looked at me like I should be grateful. like,
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, no. Now we're gonna 3. So, anyway, anything else that happened to anybody before we move on? Because that was
That was a wild ride.
oh my goodness, yeah. I was like,
Manny's down in Florida.
what?
Yeah, Manny's in Florida, so my partner's over in Florida right now on a...
Cruise?
No, not a cruise, just a personal vacation. He went to go. I think one of his friends is down there. She's married to some guy who works in the oil industry, and
Oh.
like really high up, and so they're always traveling, and so
Yeah.
he has missed her for some time, and so he's like, hey, she's in Florida. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little mini vacation down there. Are you okay with that? I mean, he offered for me to go, but I was like, I'm gonna stay.
I want a personal vacation.
Me too. I don't even know what vacation means anymore. Lord.
He's gone. What the last time was Egypt. Him and his best
Oh.
friend went to Egypt.
Oh,
Yeah, they went
fun.
to Egypt. They spent some time there. So actually, speaking of trips, so y'all went to. I heard y'all were in Berlin. So like, any other places y'all been to?
So I've traveled worldwide, been to many different countries, many different cities. And I just started a couple years ago traveling internationally. So Mexico and
Mexico, Canada, Europe. Yeah.
in Europe it was Austria, Germany, and Italy. We were supposed to go to France
the
and
UK.
Spain, but they kind of screwed us over on that one.
The UK.
Oh yeah, in the UK. And Melissa, you've been in the UK.
And I loved.
Oh yes.
We
Yeah.
weren't just visiting there. We lived.
We
technically lived there.
We lived there, and the kids hated it because.
No, I loved it.
Well, no. Well,
Lee
Lee
hated it.
Lee hated it because he did not. They did not have bologna sandwiches.
Oh my gosh.
He
It
said,
was a culture shock for him, which understandably,
He should have
this
gone
would
to
be a different
Germany.
Culture shock for a child that age, like.
I
Yeah,
should've
Germany
had a
has
what?
plenty of bologna, I'll tell you that much.
Oh my goodness, no, but it's just
We're all just travelers here, it seems.
we're all just Germany has bologna.
That
They
too.
do.
They do. They have
No,
plenty of
aside
it.
from. Oh gosh. Aside from that, no, I hear that now we're hearing about travel is up, and because the virus has but what's going on with Australia? Aren't they like getting a different variant? They're all like scared over there in
Well,
Australia.
they have the Delta variant right now.
Yeah.
So okay, so
It's supposed to be a bigger,
we're not.
badder
Are we ever going to be
strain.
over this? Oh, it's a bigger and more badass strain.
Yeah. That's what they say.
Yeah, because like in UK right now, it's
It's a-
really strong up there too. And we follow a YouTube channel, and apparently they're going to be closing France down again in the beginning of August. Again. So
Oh my
the
god.
U.S., I've heard like California, New York, and there's a couple other states that are getting really affected by this new Delta virus.
But speaking of France,
Yeah.
I want to get a chateau.
Me too.
Oh my gosh, that's.
Wouldn't that be
It
nice?
sure would.
Well, we're
Do y'all speak French?
We
Very, very little. I used to speak French when I was young, but I lost most of it.
And I'm losing my languages over time because I don't have anybody to really practice with. So
you actually are coming in and out to Mister. You need to get close. Come close,
is that better, darling?
Mister T. Come close.
She just mentioned. It's just on occasion your audio will kind of clip out. It could be just because of the distance between you and the mic, but.
This is just real. I mean, we're here at Mishmash. We're just a basket of disaster.
Yeah,
right
you guys are in San Antonio and we're in a completely different state. So this is interesting.
Yes.
Oh, how's the weather over there? How's the because
Getting slapped by another hurricane?
wasn't it a hurricane? Not hurricane, but Storm Elsa or tropical storm.
Gosh, it's like,
That
Wait,
hit the
getting
East
near that?
Coast.
We left
What?
Elsa back in
do
Norway.
you want? I was thinking, Elsa, what a name. Do you want to
So
build
bad.
a snowman?
I would love to right
You
now.
want to drown the clouds?
No, fortunately, that didn't affect us at all. We are getting the storms that you guys are getting. So they're traveling
Yeah,
east.
because I was gonna say it's been raining like for a whole week and a half now.
Well, yeah. Tori's car went underwater.
What?
Yeah.
He was in it.
Yes.
This
He
was
was
at
in
the
it.
end of May. We
Whitewater rafting. There you go.
Mazda rafting.
Make use of it where you can.
Oh my God, but that was scary. Honestly, that was like a crazy adventure. So we left work because we knew it was getting bad. And so I get in my car, turn left on the street, can't see anything in the windshield because it's just pouring down. Not even maybe 30, 40 feet from where I turned, hit water. That was the end of the story. Yeah.
Yep. He sent me a
Yeah.
video. I was like,
So you were in the car when that
Yes. And then you could see the water coming in through the doors, and I was just like, okay, I need to get out. So open the door, all this water starts gushing in. I'm like, oh, jeez. Luckily, there were some people out on their porch that were watching me, and they're like, they're like, come on up here. So I went up to their porch, and they gave me a beer, and like, just take it easy.
See, that's different. I thought your car was just like taken by like a flash flood or something, and there was nobody in it. But yeah, that's different if you were there, because
yeah.
I don't know. I would.
Oh yeah, I freaked out
I would've-
completely. I had nightmares for a couple of days after that. So we got a truck.
So now he's a big truck. Yeah, like one that you hid behind when that guy was.
So clearly, you had gap insurance.
Luckily, we owned the vehicle outright, so that was nice.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
See, that's why I got the gap insurance for anything like that.
Yes,
That way,
exactly.
they would just pay it off, and I just get myself.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
we
and
did on the
speak-
truck too to get the gap insurance. Make sure you get it. Now, here's a trick. Well, it's not even a trick, but here's kind of a loophole. We learned this a while back. Even if you get gap insurance, let's say you pay off your vehicle before the gap insurance runs out, you do not get your money back. You're supposed to by federal law, but then they avoid you like the plague.
What?
Really?
Wait. If you pay off your so let me follow this again. If you pay off
Your vehicle, yes.
early,
Early.
which is going to be the case for me, because that's the kind of
Person he is.
pay it where I can.
Exactly. And so technically by federal law, they're supposed to reimburse you the difference of the time period of the money that that you owe. They're supposed to give that money back to you. And you call the customer service, they don't answer, or they won't call you back. You go to the dealership and they have no idea what you're talking about anymore. So just be aware.
So that makes okay. So
You heard it here first, people.
yeah, I mean that's good information to have, because I paid off my smart car when I did have it. I paid it off 4 months early. So, and I never even knew about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Damn. I wonder if I can still go after that.
Probably not. Statute of limitations.
Yeah. It doesn't quite work the same.
So we got our first fan mail.
Ooh. What did it say? What did it say?
Yes, and it was all about Franklin.
Yeah. She was irate. She was like, y'all never, I don't ever want to hear his voice on here again. Y'all take him out.
Oh, it was, hi, my name is Cheryl. I could just hear, Cheryl, I'm from Georgia. Said, and I just love listening to you and Franklin. I'm gonna go and follow him on his Instagram. He goes,
And-
Franklin is my favorite. I'm like, okay, thank you.
Hey, but at least you got some fan mail. That's awesome.
And actually, when she mentioned that, so thank you. If you are listening, thank you so much. That means a lot. That probably explains the follow I did get on Instagram, because I noticed the stranger had followed me. But this was like a couple of days back, I want to say. And I was like, okay, well, it's just a follower. But when you mentioned that, I was like, oh, maybe that was.
Yeah, it's probably her. I was like, okay, well, what am I, chopped liver?
And who is this Franklin character?
I don't know. Complete strange. He just wanders in once in a while.
You know what? That's fine, because sometimes I don't even know who the hell I am.
As long as Teddy knows who you are, that's all that matters.
Well,
right?
I just added you, Franklin,
yeah.
on Facebook a couple of days ago. Yeah. I asked you for a
Ooh.
friend request.
Oh, you know what?
Yes. Oh, bum, bum, bum.
Well, first of all, are you friends with
Yes.
my mother?
And Lee.
Yes.
Okay, so then so then I would have seen it, and I would have seen like there was mutual friends.
Yes.
Then.
He's like, okay. He's like,
not that would have made a difference because I add people who don't even have mutual friends with me. So, I mean, I just wanted to make sure, like,
hey, you
accept
like
it.
that color lipstick? I'm adding you. You like shakshuka? I'm adding you.
I am careful with whom I accept because I can tell when an account is obviously like a
bogus
scam.
one.
Especially when it was just created, like not but 2 days ago, and you literally scroll through their timeline. And it says, "Oh, was born in 1989 or whatever," and you're like, "Oh, this account was literally just created. It's probably just some scammer." And
Who wants
in
to?
Syria or
Who wants to, sir? Sir, can you please? I'm gonna send you a big check.
Oh,
and-
God.
Lee fell for that. Lee fell for a scam.
What?
Remember Lee went to that website to buy a PS5?
Oh, yeah, the PS. Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Like my brother went to go. My brother, I don't know if y'all know the story, but he went to go buy a PS5 on this website, and this website was like, "Oh, the last one left is at $485, less than what the retail price is for a PS5." And Lee was like, "Oh my god, I have to make this purchase. It's the last one left." And I'm like, "Lee, that's clearly a scam. He bought it."
He bought it. The bank took it. The bank actually, took the loss because they refunded his money. And I'm like,
But he never got like a receipt for it, right?
nothing, not even a.
Like a shipping.
And then, of course, when I'm reading all this stuff, like, oh, and if it gets caught in customs, then it's not our problem. It's like, yeah, something tells me everything that you sell supposedly gets stuck in customs.
Pretty much, especially right now.
And oh yeah, exactly. Oh yes. So we were gonna.
We don't want to talk about
shitty
customs. I have a
managers.
lot of stories about customs and immigration.
Oh really?
Lord.
Did you ever have to try to smuggle something from Thailand?
No, but I used to own a trench coat, a leather patchwork trench coat.
Yep.
It was all the way down.
Gorgeous.
I got it from a
Ooh.
fashion show in Italy from one of the designers.
Ooh.
And I went into Mexico. This is in Laredo. If anybody knows where Laredo is, fun times. You walk across the bridge into Mexico. Well, I was coming back. It was cold. And so halfway across the bridge, I'm hypoglycemic, so my blood sugar just dropped. And get to customs / immigration, and I'm shaking really bad because my sugar was so low. And then the customer was like, "What's wrong with you? Are you hiding something?" I'm like, "No."
They thought you were on drugs.
And they're like,
basically.
and then they just kept bugging me about asking me these stupid questions, and I'm not a person who likes stupid questions. So, and then finally he's like, as I told him, I said, "Well, I'm hypoglycemic. I need to get some sugar in my system. If not, I'm gonna pass out." And he's like, "So what's up with that trench coat? Do you think you're Neo from the Matrix?" I said, "I don't know. You must be Mr. Anderson, so let me show you." Yeah, customs is fun. Fun customs.
Fun
Yeah,
times.
they didn't like that too much.
Well, I would have gathered. Oh yeah, I mean they probably have seen it all. I mean, big time. No. Yeah, I mean I think was it Manny said he used to smuggle avocados.
Manny, my partner, used to, when this was when he was younger, like 11 years old, 12 years old, when it was super easy to just cross the border into Mexico. And it wasn't like a whole big thing, but he used to go and
Because he was in Laredo too, right?
Yeah, he would take his money because he had like a little allowance, like in a little side business at school.
And
would
his
take-
uncle was on the border patrol.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he would basically go take the change he earned and go and buy avocados of all things, and basically smuggle them back into the U.S. because they were cheap over there. And I said, as you should. Like, I fucking love avocados. They're delicious. That's
They are.
nature's butter right there.
Well, Rhett had a really interesting encounter with Border Patrol.
Well, no. So what happened? No, real quick. Okay, but
Oh no, he made himself some good tacos that day.
Okay, so then, what happened with Red at Border Patrol?
When you and Charlie,
Oh, which one?
Well,
the
there were-
myriad
I guess
of offenses.
the one down
Let me just pull out my journal. and let me just
down
stick to them.
Dear
El
Diary.
Paso,
Yes. Okay. So we were traveling. We were just traveling past El Paso, and we were going towards Texas, and we got pulled over, and it was at Christmas time, so the trunk is filled with wrapped gifts, and
Wait a minute.
Wrapped.
Rat or wrap?
Christmas
Oh, okay.
gifts.
I thought you said rat. I'm like, rat? Okay, I was like, rat?
And they we got to look in your trunk. Fine, whatever. Well, you're going to have to unwrap everything. I said, no, I'm not unwrapping everything. He said, well, we need to know what's in here. I said, well, if you unwrap it, you're going to wrap it back. And they, well, we're going to have to get the dog. Whatever. It took 45 minutes for somebody to go find a dog to bring over there.
To sniff out the presents.
To find out that there's nothing there.
Was there any bologna in them?
The dog's alerting, and it's really a big old sausage, summer sausage stick.
Sure was a lot of coffee.
The dog is all terribly alert after that. Whoa, all that caffeine.
Indeed.
Oh my goodness.
So they didn't end up.
No, they didn't do anything. They just made us wait. Now, mind you, cars galore just kept going by. Even trucks filled with people in the back of them. They don't care. But
Familia Rodriguez.
I know.
I was not happy.
It's like, what about me screamed
Yes.
contraband?
This is the.
I mean, I am so ultra nothing. I mean, of all the people,
Well, no.
you want me?
No, but see, it makes sense. You were Neo. You were the one.
Yes, and it.
Mexico's pretty bad about that too. Like if you're white, they consider you the gringo, and so they want to bring up all the prices. Doesn't matter. And I went into a taxi one time, and they're like, so in Mexico, the way they do their taxis is they actually tell you the price up front. They have like a little sticker in the windows. So if you're in zone A, going to zone B, it's kind of like a chart. So you put your fingers on zone B, go to your left or right, and then your fingers go up, and that's the price you're supposed to pay. Well, they're like, you're white, so we're gonna go ahead and charge you 500 pesos. I'm like, wait a minute, it's only 75 pesos. I'm like, why? I was like, this is what it says. And I'm like, well, tú eres gringo. So I was like, how do you know that? Well, you're in El Laredo and you're walking, so I was like, how do you?
Because of my luscious vanilla
I
skin.
know, right? I said, well, how do you know I'm not from like Zacatecas or?
Yeah.
I was like, there's a lot of white people in Mexico too, because there's a lot of French and there's a lot of Spaniards, and they're white.
Do you bust out the
Of
Spanish?
course. And they're like, they don't really care, and they're just like, oh, doesn't really matter. We're still going to charge you. I was like, okay. So they took me to where I was going. Then I said, I'm not paying. So they called the cops on me.
Oh.
And so I explained to the cops what was going on, and they're like, he's right. 75 pesos. And he's like, you know what? But because you were being such a douche, he's not going to pay you. Yeah.
Wow. I bet you the word was ese gringo.
Oh, yes. They were mad. He was pretty mad. But I was like, that's what you get. Karma.
Oh, well, at least, you know what? You were lucky that you got an honest. I'm sorry. I'm going to just put it out there. Some of the cops, they're chuecos. That means
Crooked.
for all the people that don't know, it means crooked. Yes. So I mean, you were lucky because they could have sided with, oh yeah, he's a foreigner, so yeah, it is 500 pesos.
And it's not to talk ill of the people there or anything, but it's just there's certain things going on in the political world on that side that's kind of like messed up too.
Oh yeah.
So it's not to speak ill of people in Mexico. It's just there's certain systems in place there that
Give people, it makes them.
The wrong kind of people the power.
Well, also like on the border cities, they do have a lot of tourists, so they try to take advantage of that fact that you don't know the prices of things and that you don't know how the system works. But when you live in Mexico for couple years, you learn that even as a foreigner, and you can defend yourself with that, which is really great.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I was remembering something Manny told me about the last time y'all were cruising. He said this woman fell in love with Franklin, was basically sitting on his lap. Is she the one that actually gave you her jewelry or something?
Oh my god! Yeah. So we were on a cruise, and I guess we were sat at a table because I don't know how you. When you're on a cruise during the formal dining and stuff, they'll sit you with like other people to kind of make the most use of the space. Mm-hmm. And so we were sat with this old couple, and this lady was like really taken with how I looked that night. Granted, I was dressed up as a gay superhero, as Manny likes to call it. I was in full makeup beat. I had a nice like outfit on and stuff, and so she was like, "Oh my god, you look so beautiful." I'm like, "Oh, thank you, man." And so the conversation went on, and it wasn't the first night that she gave me the jewelry. It happened to be like the third night where we were sat back at a table with them, and we exchanged pleasantries and stuff. And it was after our meal that she said, "You know what? I wasn't sure whether or not to do this, but I just feel like it's the best choice. I wanted to give you my jewelry." Because I noticed how you were dressed and the jewelry that you were wearing, and you carried it so well and you looked so elegant, and I'm never gonna wear this ever again, and I just figured I would like to have it, I would like to give it to you. And I was like, oh my god, like it was just like so out of left field. I was like, oh my god, thank you.
What kind of jewelry was it?
I'm not gonna turn down some. It was one of those long necklaces that you kind of have to double over around your neck. Mm-hmm. But it was like these gold. I don't even know how to describe it. It was like gold beading.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like the 1920s necklaces.
It had like these large, like hollow gold like balls all over the necklaces and with some beading on it. But it looked really just like ornate.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. And so it was a statement necklace for sure. So I mean, you could really pull it off if you were wearing something like more simple, like on your top, and then that would be like the statement piece.
Was she the same one that you said that Manny said got drunk and was like sitting on your lap?
Oh my gosh.
So,
He attracts these people.
I know.
Okay.
The weirdos come out of the woodworks for me.
And you were at a show, right?
We were at a comedy show on the cruise.
On the cruise.
And I was enjoying it, and this lady was next to me. First of all, she was drunk, and she was just heckling the comedian. That's not funny. Oh my god, you need to go back. You need to get the hell off this shit. That was not funny.
Oh my gosh.
And
Walk the plank.
yeah, just every little insult under the sun, and people were like coming up to her and like, "Lady, you need to, shut the hell up. I'm not gonna listen to you." So at the end of the show, she looks over at me and she notices me, and again, dressed up as a gay superhero. She's like, "Oh my gosh!" She's like, "You're so pretty," and she like sits down on my lap and she's like hugging me, like she has her arm around my neck and she's like on my lap, and she's like, "Oh my god, you need to dance with me at the club. Oh my god, I can tell you're an awesome dancer."
Oh my gosh.
You're like, actually, you don't know I have two left
And I
feet.
could smell the alcohol on her breath. I was like, "Oh." And I'm the kind of person that, when I'm uncomfortable, for the most part, I'll just stay silent. And like I said, I'll just give a look here and there. But I'm like, I don't know what to do. And
Man, you were just like frozen. Like
he's the one who like looked over and he grabs her arm and says, "Ma'am, you need to go back to your room. You're not in a state to be doing
Oh my
that."
gosh.
He like yanks her off of me, like not like a disrespect, but just like a firm, yank off me. And I guess her friends at that moment saw her and were like, "Oh my god, hey, Catherine."
Whatever your name is.
Well, whatever your name is. I think it was Catherine or something. But her friends found her and they like pulled her away.
They dragged her, and was that, and then another woman sat on you in the jacuzzi.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
She was in love with you too.
Was this the Love Boat?
Some lady. Where are your husbands? Like, seriously.
They were taking a personal vacation.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah, so he said he was in the jacuzzi, right? And when she just plops.
Yeah, so I'm like, I finished my workout and I, had gotten my towel on, my bathing suit, and I was like, let me hit the sauna because we were on the spa deck on this cruise, and so we had like straight access to the saunas and stuff. And so I went over there and I went to the jacuzzi, and it was actually two ladies. One of them like immediately like went up on one side of me, and the other lady like went and sat on my lap as I was sitting in the jacuzzi. And they're like, "Oh my God, we've seen you around the ship here and there. I've been meaning to tell you were so fabulous."
Oh my gosh.
Really, I'll take a compliment, but like, don't make me feel weird about it by like literally sitting on my lap.
That's just crazy. You know who get really crazy too? The crew members when they're on their day off.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
really?
especially
Down on the
exactly
party deck.
on the party deck or in the club. They get so drunk,
Oh,
and it's
my.
just hilarious to watch them.
Well, I couldn't believe that, he everywhere he goes, he was like everywhere he went, women just fell in his lap. And then he goes, I'm looking at them like, we're together, and it's like, you know what? You can take him with you. Take him with you. So yes. Ooh, and then when was it? No, he said that then he had gone on a Alaska cruise, and that they had, because the laws about going through the fjords, that you can't, the ship has to turn off their motors and silent, so that they were dancing, and everybody had to wear headphones where the music piped in through the headphones.
Oh yeah, that was one of the stranger like cruises he was.
I was like, what? So everybody's dancing, and it's like, imagine the random person walking by the club, and it's silent, and people are dancing.
dancing, listening to the
So
music on their headphones.
why did they have? What was the point of that?
Oh, because when you get close to once you're at the on this Alaskan cruises where they take you up to these glaciers and stuff.
To Glacier Bay?
The
when you're
sound.
up- yeah, when you're up near them, you can have like too loud of sound because they could like I guess cause cracks and stuff. And
Calving, lots of unnecessary calving, or
Yeah.
So it was like sound restriction. So that he says that the ship literally cut their motors. And-
when it came to like the clubs, like in the evening times, they would play music, but it would be strictly through like these
Bose headsets, headphones. So everybody I'd be walking by going, "What? Why are they all dancing?" It's like a pin drop.
Sounds like an episode
So
of. Yes.
Yeah, that's one to
I
watch.
knew where you were going with that.
No,
Or the
y'all are
Twilight
in
Zone.
simpatico.
Yes, we have this telepathic connection. The gays, it's the gay thing.
When they were little, I used to call the other one the outer melons,
melons.
the outer limits. He goes, "Mom, I want to watch the outer melons." It's
Oh
like,
my god! And you know what? The embarrassing part is I do remember that.
yeah, the outer melons. Yeah, but no. So,
Any cruises with y'all?
I went on a 14-day cruise in the Caribbean. Oh my god, it was so awesome.
That must-
did you have women falling in your lap?
At the club, yes. Because I love to dance, and I can dance almost anything. So the girls always get all excited, like if you're especially dancing like salsa, merengue, which is one of my favorites, or bachata. So they're like, "Oh my god, you know how to
like,
dance? Teach me how to dance." And they're all drunk.
Of course.
Yeah, it's just hilarious.
A sloppy. Can you imagine trying to teach a drunk how to
Hey,
dance?
that's when most people dance the best.
Really? I wouldn't think
Well,
that.
you know, actually, that's true because you have no inhibition. Like you don't have that fear, that social
Exactly.
anxiety. So you just let loose.
God,
Yeah.
I could imagine.
And then you have the hangover the next
the
day.
people.
And sore muscles.
Oh my God, I could imagine the people that were like inhibitions down, and they think that they are like the world champion jitterbug dancer, and and they look like a jackhammer hitting a bad New York street sidewalk.
Oh my god, I can just visualize.
Yes, I can too. Oh,
or the guy that all he does is the two move like the side to side. Side to side.
Oh my god.
Side
You
to
know what? I
side.
think that's why. I think that's why the ladies flock to us in those situations because realistically, at least the clubs I've been to, like guys are just like they're too scared to dance. They're like off on the sides. They're kind of like just swaying their hips and stuff, and they're not really getting into it. And I think they love like seeing a guy like just let loose.
Voguing.
Yes.
It's like, ooh, do you vogue when you're on the dance floor?
It's kind of like high school or junior high, the dances, and you have all the boys on one side and all the girls on the one side, and they're all scared to come and dance, and the boys don't want to dance.
But you always have.
Yeah.
They were holding up the wall.
Exactly.
You know,
They were holding up the wall.
they had that one foot up on the wall and they're just watching.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, but you did have your the people that were brave. And
But I'm just saying, like as a whole, guys are just like they have that.
It's an inhibition. They're just scared.
They're scared to let their masculinity
Down.
like just down. Yeah.
yeah, that's true. That's right. That's true. So all of you.
But the cruise, the cruise Caribbean, the cruise to the Caribbean.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, so they were dancing with you.
No, I just mentioned it because it must have been beautiful. Like, did y'all have any stops?
We
along the way?
had 7 ports that we stopped at. My favorite was Aruba because I love horseback riding. And normally when you go horseback riding, it's not even really riding, it's just trotting along. They don't let you actually ride the horse or let the horse go to its full potential. Yeah.
Gallop.
And we got to cross the entire island and we got to go into the ocean with the horses. That was really amazing. But
Hey yo.
what I really loved the most though was like the owner of the horses. She's like, because I always talk to horses, the horse whisperer, and because I've always felt that, like, if you're gonna ride an animal,
A horse is a horse, a course,
Really?
a course.
I've always talked to the horse like before I ride it because I want them to know that I'm not there to hurt them, or and kind of get the permission, get that bonding with the horse. So I did that, and then got on the horse. And so we were walking or galloping a little bit, and then the owner's like, "Let him go." I was like, "What? You let him go? Let him show him what he can do." And sure enough, I leaned in and kind of whispered in the horse's ear, "Let's go!" And bam, we were going.
Like a
Oh,
quarter.
it was so much fun.
Camp down races, 5 miles long, doo-dah, doo-dah.
Man, that must have been so big. Like, oh, that sounds beautiful. It's like,
Beautiful hello will happen at horse camp. I sent you and your brother to horse camp. Y'all were miserable.
Oh, I love horses.
They fucking hated
I
it.
love it.
well, we were sent to. First of all, we were voluntoed, so that's why we hated it. First of all.
Oh, lawn told.
Secondly, we were young, so we hadn't really spent time away from our mother, like really at all growing up. So this was like the first like major sort of separation we'd have from her, being a couple of cities over.
No, you were y'all were not cities, y'all were towns, because this is
Yeah,
Bangor.
Bangor.
Yes.
So a couple of towns over, but still, like for somebody young,
And for like 3 days.
for somebody young to be separated when they hadn't been separated before, it's kind of like unnerving. And so so that's really why we didn't like the experience, was because it was like we're being emancipated.
Oh, I would have been jumping for joy. I'd been like, "What? 5 days away from you? Oh, perfect. Let's go."
Oh, and Lee also got stuck with a crappy horse. It was actually a donkey, you said, or was it a pony? It was a pony, and it kept bucking him off.
Oh, poor Lee.
We had to take care of. Yeah, we were given horses to like care for, and like this was horse camp. Like you had to do everything. So
Yeah.
you clean up after them, feed them, bathe them, ride them. But there was other things to do there. But it was just basically like, oh, Franklin Lee, I'm gonna go to this horse camp. You're going whether or not you like it, and you're gonna go ahead and basically learn how to take care of horses. And I was like, that's not necessarily what I want to do for my summer.
Oh, I would have been thrilled. I would have loved it. Because out here in Louisiana, there's an actual a place where they have horse races. And a friend of mine, one of her friends, actually owns a couple of the horses. I was like, "Oh, I'm going to go volunteer to take care of the horse." I would love to do that. That would be so much fun.
Yeah. Well, y'all were the only guys too, right?
Yeah, we were. I mean, it was us. Oh, so me and Lee, and then I think it was like 5 other girls.
And all they could watch was the Saddle
Oh my
Club.
gosh, that was like the worst part of it. Like there was literally one TV with a VHS, and the only thing that we could watch for like the entire 3 days that we were there.
Oh
was
my
Saddle
gosh.
And I don't know if you've ever seen that show, but it stars the well-known, I think, Liam Hemsworth or Chris Hemsworth. He was super young in that show.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
It was just... So, but it was like basically just a show, like this, like poor budget show where it was basically like these girls at a horse farm.
They wore lip gloss,
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? This is the only thing I can watch.
the side
Well, at least you
ponytail.
had some good eye candy, at least.
Yeah.
Can't complain about that.
But I went, I when they came back, I was like, how did it go? And Lee goes like, my horse kept kicking me off of it.
Oh my god, it was an experience, one that I'm glad I had, but never wish to have again.
Franklin, I heard in the episode that came out this week that you like kayaking.
Oh yes,
Have you done it in the ocean?
No, that's where I'm like, I'll stick to lakes and rivers and.
It's not as
So
expensive.
on that cruise that I went on, we actually did that, and I was terrified because
I would be too.
well, you're out in a big ocean, especially in the Caribbean, where you don't know what's lurking below.
The thalassophobia.
Yes, and I have a huge fear of fish. I mean, a major fear of fish, and
Yeah.
Even guppies?
Yeah, don't let him get him close to his feet.
yeah, no. Like in an aquarium,
Whoa.
it's fine, but not where I'm in the water with them. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're kayaking, and we went to an island, and we actually went through a cave, which was really scary in itself because the waves go against the rocks, so it feels like you're going to fall out sometimes, and you actually have to stabilize yourself by putting your hands against the walls and pushing yourself through it. That was kind of interesting, but it was kind of scary at the same time. But
Yeah.
I was kayaking, and I saw a shadow underneath in the water, and I was just like, oh my god, oh my god. So I started kayaking faster to get to where we're going, and it just felt like we were never going to get there. And
I can. Oh
no,
oh,
go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I can understand because, well, first of all, I have thalassophobia, so yeah, I'm like deathly afraid of
Yeah.
the unknown, especially in the ocean. So that's why I would never kayak in the ocean. First of all, and yeah, and also I can understand your whole like fear of like fishes, like or being in the water with fish because it's like they're slimy, like they're touching you. You don't know what they have, if they have any parasites.
They have rabies.
It's not like it's
I'm gonna fillet you.
It's not like it's unreasonable because like there's parasites.
Well,
in
y'all
the
would
water,
have. You would have hated it then. When Maui, I used to go down there with Steve, and I would try to reach for the surgeon fish or the trigger
Yeah, I know.
fish, and then. Yeah, and yes, and he took me along. The one thing I will say is, because Steve is like a fish in water, and then I turned around, and I saw
he's not like a fish. He is a fish.
he is a fish, yes. And so I see this giant, the size of a Volkswagen Beetle, this giant sea turtle, and I'm like, and Steve's over there trying to grab its fin, and I'm like, wow. And then we went around the coral head, and I was watching Steve, and I was following him, and these coral head columns were like 15 feet, 20 feet tall. Yeah. So you look down and you see the floor, but they're huge. And so I had to kind of like calm my breath because I was like, oh gosh, they look menacing. And then I turned to look behind me because I didn't know exactly. I knew that we were at the edge of the coral reef, but when I turned to look, literally open
Yeah,
ocean.
yeah.
You just saw a vast
See,
sea. It was dark
Yeah,
blue. And I was like, I just grabbed Steve's arm tight, and he turned to look at me, and he just kind of made that motion like steady your breath because you don't want to start panicking. And I just kept, but knowing that it was right behind me, and so I just kind of kept swimming with him until we got around the coral head and started heading back into the shore. But and then I got out of the water. I was like, holy crap, that was the ocean. He goes, well, we are in the ocean. I said, that was the
Ocean.
open water. And he goes, oh yeah, sometimes I would because sometimes you'll see the little white tip reef sharks come. I'm like,
No, thank you.
they're the puppies of the ocean. I don't give a shit. It's a shark.
Were you guys snorkeling or scuba diving?
We were snorkeling. But Steve was the kind of snorkeler. He's the kind of snorkeler that he can dive down like 10, 20 feet down on one breath. And he's going, and I always wondered, hello, that thing has a open hole at the end. How do you do it? And then he just comes back up, and I'm bobbing, I'm kind of surfacing, I'm looking down from the top. I stay near the surface because I don't want that other end of the snorkel tip to go into the
Well,
water.
it has a little ball that goes on top of it when you go down.
Yeah, and he had a nice his snorkel gear cost like $200, but and we had fins and everything, so we had a good set. But it's like you never know fear until you turn around and it's deep blue.
No, that's not fear,
it's
Melissa.
dark blue.
That's not fear. I'll tell you what fear is. So same kayaking,
Oh, no.
we get to the island. Next step is
Oh, no.
snorkeling. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this because it's a reef. So I go in. Here I am, swim. Just keep swimming, just keep
Swim,
swimming.
swim, swim.
And then all of a sudden, this school of fish comes towards me.
They're little
They're a school of fish.
minnows.
Yes. And then they...
Minnows.
So once they get towards me,
They
I
had
just
no
like kind of
business being
froze right there. So they divide, except for one. There's always that one. And it went right through my legs, brushed up on my legs. I looked down, and it's staring right back at me. Other people that were on this excursion didn't know people could scream underwater.
you proved
I
me
did.
wrong that day.
I did. So I ran back. I swam back as quick as I possibly could to the shore. I was like, I'm done.
Understandably, though.
Oh, I love that when they come at you like that. I would do that. I would just like, ooh, look, come to me, fishy, come to me.
No.
Speaking of fish encounters, I'm
no.
sure this was on the news for a little bit, but that guy that was swallowed by a hunchback.
Oh.
A hunchback?
Hunchback well.
Was that Quasi-Whalo?
That was off the coast of France. They're different over there.
The French.
Disney's gonna make a new movie now.
The hunchback
Notre
whale.
Dame.
No, but I mean the humpback whale. But yeah, that guy was swallowed by one of them, but he lived to tell the tale.
Well, yeah, he was like he didn't know because he said that he was. In fact,
he was
Mr.
just-
Ballin talked about it.
Yeah, he was just diving and
got swallowed.
This whale was like, yeah, he got
But
swallowed.
He was
But
dark.
see,
Wasn't
that's the kind of
wasn't
story
his
that-
name Jonah?
Oh, go ahead. Okay, I think it was.
But the whale spit him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like, ugh,
nasty.
human.
Well, also like the guy, he said that he was like punching and like kicking and like in the mouth of the whale, and I guess he was like, oh, what the hell? I must have like caught a fly in my sleep.
Got me a feisty one there.
That's not krill.
But he didn't.
That's not what I ordered. Send it back.
But he said that it was dark because he didn't know where he was at first because it just happened, and he's like, it goes dark, and he kept feeling, and he goes, it felt weird.
But yeah, but see, those are the kind of stories where it validates my fear of the open waters. Like that would happen to me.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah,
That's
I
or you're
guess.
swimming towards a barracuda.
Yeah, but you,
Oh, that
and
happened
it
to Steve.
happened to Tori, but he didn't know it.
What? You wait a minute. You
I-
came face to face with a barracuda.
No, well, not face to face. I saw
Ooh,
it.
barracuda.
We were snorkeling, and we were going in that direction, and I'm the one that saw it. And I knew he would freak out, so I just calmly steered him back a different direction. He just kind of followed me a different direction. So we never got too close to it, but I mean, I saw it. I mean, in the water, it looks a lot closer.
Yeah, we were probably maybe about 30 feet away from it.
Yeah.
But it was eating in that area. So I'm glad.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
eating. Oh, okay. So even worse. Hey.
So you knew he was hungry.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
great.
that's what happened to Steve on Maui when he was young. He was like 14 or 15. He said that he was in the water, and he was swimming around looking for taco, which is the octopus. And he said that he turned behind him. He saw he kind of like saw some movement, so he turned, and it was literally like 15, 20 feet away was a school of
Oh,
barracuda.
goodness.
And he said all he saw was that crazy eye look and teeth. And he just stopped and he was looking at them and saying to himself, just keep swimming by. And he said, I was a goner if they would have attacked me, but they just swam by. And the minute they swam by, he goes, I swear I turned tail, and I was like, I've never, like in the cartoons, or underwater, they're like
Yeah.
zooming. He was zooming out of that water.
Maybe they were leading him to Ursula.
Is that what they were?
Yeah, those were
Barracudas?
barracudas. Yes.
Was it?
What? I thought they were
my-
I thought they were eels.
I thought they were
No.
eels
Wasn't he
too.
looking for an octopus?
He was looking for it.
He was That's true. He was
They were going to lead him
He
to
was looking
the
for
octopus, to Ursula.
To steal that voice.
Oh,
Well, instead
gosh.
of becoming
No,
a human,
yes,
he
but-
wanted to become a merman.
Oh gosh, I would have never met my merman.
Well, Tori, Rhett, I want to. Oh my God, it was like a blast, like meeting y'all. Like this is all clearly like my first time meeting you guys, but it's been really awesome.
Oh yes,
But
yes.
Mom, I actually need to mention I have to get my workout out. I have a
Yes. Okay, well, so actually, on that note, everybody, boy, that was just a quick one, right? A quick departure. So, on that note, everybody, as always, follow us on Instagram. We do have an Instagram. It's Mish Mosh Soup. Also, Facebook is still, under construction, but there is a Mishmash Soup also on Facebook. Want to thank, of course, Mr. T and the heckler, as we all know, is Rhett. But yeah, it's been good. And as always, you can always send us suggestions or even fan mails to the Classy Queer at mishmashsoup214@gmail.com. Follow Franklin at.
The Classic Queer on Instagram.
And do you have any other socials?
Actually, the Classic Queer on TikTok. I am on TikTok.
Tic-tac. Tic-tac-toe.
Not to get confused with TikTok. I'm on TikTok.
That's a really exclusive social platform, right? So, yeah. Ooh. So, as always, everybody, it was, this was just a mishmash of everything.
Random
But
stream of conscience.
yes, exactly. But on that note, everybody, thanks for watching. Or listening, and
you later.
see you later every Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.